everybody. I am going to kick off at 2 on the dot and just will let other people join the webinar as they come. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name's Susie McElwee and I'm the Head of Communications at Business in the Community Northern Ireland. And it's me and my team that leads on the Responsible Business Awards in Northern Ireland, which is our annual event that's happening this year. So just to let you know, we are going to be recording this session. Your cameras and your mics are turned off, so we can't see or hear you. And just if I could ask that you don't invite any AI bots to this meeting, I am recording it, so I'll send it to you along with the slides after the webinar, so you've just got a resource that you can refer back to. And it is fabulous that you're here because it means that you're interested in entering the awards, and I'm hoping that you'll get some hints and tips that's just going to make the process a little bit easier for you to go through. So what we're going to cover is we'll talk a little bit about the awards. I'm going to go through each of the 13 categories, not in detail, but I'll let you know what they are. And I'm going to highlight the ones where we've made changes just to bring those to your attention. I will let you know where you go to make an awards entry, how to enter, some tips. I'll give you a wee guide through the judging process. So that just lets you know what we do with your entries after you've submitted them. We'll highlight some key dates that you need for your diaries, and we'll talk about the gala event. There's time for questions too, so if you want to drop those in the Q&A section of the of this Teams meeting, and my colleague Marie's on the call, so if she can answer any, she will, and I can pick up on some of them at the end as well. So what are these awards? I think there's a few familiar names in here. You'll probably be well versed on what our awards are, but ultimately it's a celebration of those organisations in Northern Ireland that are going beyond profit to be a force for good in society and for the environment. So it's our superhero organisations. And a big part of this is about how we use our winners and their case studies to inspire others to do similar things. So we want organisations to attend these events and to hear about our winners and our finalists and to think, well, actually, we could do that too. So if you're committed to, and our categories cover so many different things, but if you're committed to creating a diverse workforce, a sustainable environment, if you are working to make sure that communities thrive, or you're maybe created something innovative that is tackling a social or environmental issue, and it's all about responsible business, these are the awards for you to enter. Before I get into the nitty-gritty and start sharing some tips and dates and things like that, I just want to take a wee stop to say thank you to our sponsors and our partners. Without them, we just couldn't deliver these awards. So we're really grateful for their leadership and support year after year. And I want to highlight in particular Henry Brothers, which is our key sponsor for the awards. They won our top award in 2021, NI Responsible Company of the Year, and have joined us as the key sponsor every year since. So we're really pleased that we've got a full team behind us on this initiative. So what is in the awards for you? I mean, it's great to win an award. Everybody knows that winning an award is brilliant, but you're here, so you do see the value in entering the awards. I do appreciate that as the deadline approaches and it's been on the back of your to-do list for a while, that you might think, why did I sign up to this? But there's so many benefits that come from not even just winning these awards, but being recognised as a finalist and even entering the awards themselves. They do strengthen your reputation and your profile. It gives you better visibility within the business context as well, and provides credibility for your organisation around responsible business. They give you an opportunity to reflect and learn and improve. So even kind of thinking through what you want to put into your awards entries, you'll sit and think, that's amazing that we're doing this. You're going to see it all in one place, and it's brilliant to pull all that information together. It's a good learning exercise to do, because you can maybe identify some gaps that are in your approach as well. And the improvement part of it is important as well. So, we'll have entries, lots of finalist entries as well that obviously won't make it through to winner's stage. And for all organisations that are in the finalist stage and even our winners, we offer one-to-one feedback on your entries. So that's offered to you after our winners are announced at the end of the process. You've got an opportunity there to inspire and influence change across Northern Ireland. As a finalist and a winner of these awards, you're considered a responsible business role model. So it's a very good accolade to have. It opens doors and relationships. There's lots of points along the awards process that you'll have the opportunity to network with others. So not just at the awards event itself, but part of our judging process, which I'll explain later, is in person. And it's a really great day for meeting others and meeting our judges, meeting other businesses and networking. And if you are a winner, we'll invite you to the winners' drinks reception after the awards event as well. So lots of points there for you to link up with others. And ultimately, the independent recognition of being a finalist or a winner in these awards is something that you'll be striving for. You know what you do is great and the effort and the work that goes into it. But isn't it great whenever somebody comes to you and says, actually, yes, what you're doing is amazing and we want to platform you for your work. Okay, so on to the categories 13 in 2026. So the same categories as last year. Same as last year, that they are all free to enter, and organisations can enter as many as they like in any of these categories. There are just two exceptions around that I'm going to highlight, and also to say that members and non-members of business in the community can enter these awards. There's just a couple of caveats. The first one being the NI Responsible Company of the Year award. So that's our top award, and it is open to members of business in the community. We've made changes in that category, so I'm actually going to leave that and come back to that so I can tell you a little more in detail about the changes that we've made. The other one is our One to Watch award, which is for a new member of business in the community that's advancing its CR strategy. So you have to have been a member of business in the community and joined after January 2024. The rest of them are up for grabs. So there's the Climate Action Award, got Collaborative Action Award, Diversity, Equity and Inclusion, Education and Skills, Employer of Choice, Impact in Your Community, Nature and Biodiversity. We've got the One to Watch Award, which we've already talked about, the Responsible Business Ambassador Award, which is a nomination award for an individual, Responsible Product and Service Award, Responsible Digital Technology Innovation Award, and lastly, the Wellbeing at Work Award. A couple of other things that I want to flag while we're just sitting on this slide is that your entry might be relevant across more than one category. So it could be the case that you have innovated a product that would be suitable in the Product and Service Award, but it's also in the Tech and Digital Award as well. So have a look and see that's one kind of base submission and you're just tailoring it there to enter it into another category. And the Responsible Business Ambassador Award is for an individual at any level within your organization. So we're looking for somebody that's made a significant contribution to responsible business practice within their organization, but also has an influence within the wider business community as well. So have a think if there's any colleague that you think maybe deserves recognition within your organization. So I said I'd come back to our top category, NI Responsible Company of the Year. So we made a couple of changes in that this year. This one is sponsored by SHS Group, who currently holds the award, and it's for the company that best demonstrates a pioneering approach to responsible business with an established commitment to making positive impacts across people, planet, and the places where it operates. The caveats with this one are the organisation needs to be a member of business in the community on the two dates, the date of submission and the date of the awards event on the 17th of September. So you might just want to check with your relationship manager about your membership dates there. We are asking that an organisation is a private company or a public corporation. And one of the most significant changes is that last year we were asking organisations to be to have achieved CORE, which is Business in the Community Standard for Responsible Business. We've actually opened that out this year. So we're still accepting CORE, no problem at all, as a standard, but it can also be demonstrated through other frameworks. So these frameworks have to be overarching CSR or ESG frameworks, the likes of CORE, EcoVadis, B Corp as well. That's not an exhaustive list. So if you have something else and you're not sure whether you qualify, get in contact with me and we can look into that together as well. The likes of the ISO, the standards that are issue specific don't qualify you. It needs to be an overarching CSR or ESG certification or verification. So to see all the categories, I'm going to leave that up just for a little second. You can scan there, scroll to the bottom of the page, and it will show you all the different categories that we have up for grabs. There's lots of helpful information on that hub page as well. One of the pages that I would recommend that you visit is our criteria and processes page, just because it gives you all of the detail that you're going to need for your category that you want to enter. There's dates on there as well. It tells you the questions, gives you guidance and the word counts, because what we find is that some people just like to take that information and maybe work on like a Word document and then drop that into the submission platform at a later date. It gives you information on the judging and the scoring process too, so you'll know, when you're going to hear back about your entry and what dates you might need to keep free if you're going to be recognised as a finalist. All the entries are made on the Judgify platform. It's really intuitive, and there are just two scored boxes for you to complete in terms of your entry. We'll ask you obviously some other things like contact details and how many people work within your organisation. It's just to provide a bit of context for our judges before they read your entry as well. The first written stage of it is worth 50% of your marks, and after that, it goes to the in-person judging panels, which is the other 50% of your marks that can be achieved in June. So there's a two-stage process there. But basically, after you've made your written entry, you just leave it with us. We do our internal shortlisting and then process it through, and we'll call you if we need you for the judging stage after that. A few tips on getting started. Just to move the process along a little bit, chat to the colleagues that are involved in the project or initiative that you want to put through for the awards categories, and gather as much information as you can. It might be controversial, but use AI as a tool. Somebody described it to me as it's the coffee that you have in the morning. If you can just scramble the information together you need, put it into AI and ask it to summarize it and to present it in a clear way. Anything that kind of helps pull your thoughts and your information together. Obviously, all of the content there needs to be checked and factual, and you need to be able to back it up. But it is a good starting point just to kind of get some thoughts in some sort of a shape to put together in an entry. I mentioned already about considering if your entry would fit into more than one category. So that's like a little bonus entry that you could possibly get there. And consider the time frame of your project or initiative, this being the 2026 awards. It's for initiatives and projects that have had some sort of activity in 2024 and 2025, and they have to have taken place within Northern Ireland as well. And lastly, register on the Judgify platform sooner rather than later. This just means that you're in the system, and we would send prompts through just to remind you about dates and deadlines, so it allows us to keep in contact with you a bit more easily. Tips then on making your entry. Have a look at what the questions are that we're asking and the guidance notes, because that's what we're giving our judges. So if you can make it as easy as possible for the judges to see this is the criteria and the entrants are using the same words and this is how they've evidenced it, it just makes it really easy for the judges to be able to give you your points. And do have a think about any company specific language that you might have in your entry. Just assume that the judges might not know what that is unless it's very, very obvious or you're explaining it in some point in the entry. It's kind of best to avoid company specific language. Bring the key information up to the front. I like to think of the entries almost as like a newspaper article where you have the headlines at the top, all the key info is at the top, and then underneath that you'll have the detail and the evidence and the data that backs up your what you're stating within your entry. The third point there I have is considering all your stakeholders. So think about the communities that you work with, think about the environment, and also think about your business. You need to be a business that is making a profit, and we appreciate that. So it's really good for us to be able to see actually this responsible business initiative that you've been driving forward has been really good for your business as well. So don't forget about yourself when you're thinking about the stakeholders. And explaining within graphics, makes things easy for the judges to see and get their heads around. Within the judging platform, there's an opportunity for you to upload 5 images, 5 JPEG images, and you can use that however you like. Better for infographics and charts. I would avoid as much text as you can. It's just something for the judges to look at as a bit of a visual for things, but there is scope for you to be able to upload those. And I would recommend that you check your formatting. So I did mention that some people like to go off and write, say, their entries in Word or some other place and pull it together. What we've found with some entries is that people will copy and paste information from elsewhere into the boxes, and they'll maybe be missing something at the end. So just have a wee check through before you submit that you haven't missed any important points at the end. Okay, so the judging side of things, after you've entered, if well, I was going to say if you've been made a finalist, even before that, we have internal shortlisting. So your entries are passed over to the head of campaigns within business and the community. We read through them all and then we put them through to stage 1 of our external judging. So internally, we don't score them. Business in the community is a neutral party entirely throughout the process, and we're just there to make sure that things go right and things are fair and the process is robust. So it is 3-stage. You've got your internal shortlisting, and the written submissions are then passed over to our judges. There are 3 judges on the panel for each category, and they're going to allocate up to 50% of your final scores. And then we have an in-person judging days in June, the 23rd and 24th of June. And each category will be allocated 1 day. So we haven't planned those dates just yet because we need to see how many entries come in, but you'll be allocated one of those days and a slot within that day, and we'll invite you to those panel sessions. And I'll explain just a little bit about how they work later on, timings wise, and what we expect from you in terms of the prep and things for that. But basically, once you've submitted your written entry, we will be in touch with you for anything else we need from you after that. And I would say, don't be intimidated by the in-person judging panel. Our judges are lovely, and it's an opportunity for you to bring your entry to life and to fill in any gaps. I mean, the judges want you to do the best that you can do and to get the points that you deserve. So they'll just be asking you questions to get as much information out of you as possible to get your score up. And judging panels, the way they look is it's a half-an-hour slot that would put into your diary. We'll email that through to whoever made the entry. I know that there are some communications agencies on the call today, so if you're making an entry on behalf of one of your clients, we'll email you the calendar appointment. Just send that on to whoever you'd like to be there on the day. And even the entrants don't need to attend. You might decide that actually there's somebody else would be a better representative on the day, and that's completely fine. You can send up to 2 people. Within that slot, you've got 5 minutes to give a verbal summary of your entry. So the judges will have already obviously read through your entry. So you'll just give a bit of a summary of that, and then there'll be 15 minutes for questions after that. And after the 50 minutes is over, then you'll leave the session and the judges will make their notes and score and have discussions if they need to as well. So 30 minutes is what we're asking at the Innovation Factory in Belfast, and that's where we hold our judging days. I've got 2 judges that I want to introduce you to. I've got Christine from Diversity Mark and Mark from Ulster University. And I just wanted you to hear from their perspective about the type of things that they're looking for. Christine's our judge in the Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Award, which will just give some context of some of the things that she talks about. And Mark is our employer of choice judge.
Demonstrate your success with both storytelling and numbers. So instead of just saying that you've increased something or seen an improvement, for example, we've increased applications from disadvantaged backgrounds, give us the data, your starting point, your growth, and your future goals. If you reach the judging stage, send 2 positive and passionate people who know your submission inside out. Most importantly, follow the guidance notes to stay on track. Good luck!
At the initial submission stage, what makes an entry really stand out? Well, for me, it's about being able to tell that end-to-end story, which begins with the context, sets out the actions that were undertaken, and ends with clear impact. We are looking for those examples which are really employee-centric and which demonstrate how an organisation constantly considers and refreshes its approach to the employee journey. There are so many brilliant examples of organisations focusing on the employee experience in Northern Ireland, and I am always so impressed by those organisations who bring to life their work in an engaging and impactful way, clearly demonstrating that they are proud of what they've achieved. I'm looking forward to seeing what this year's entries offer. So if you've entered the awards before or you're considering entering for the first time, I really do encourage you to share your story. Good luck.
There you go. So two obviously very friendly faces there, really nice people. And they, from the judges' side of things, it's something that they really enjoy because they get to spend a day meeting people like you who are really enthusiastic about responsible business and hearing more about what's happening across Northern Ireland. So it's a nice job for our judges too. Dates wise, I would say the most important one to put in your diary is the closing date for entries. So it's Friday, the 1st of May. We're going to announce our finalists on the 19th of May. And, I have referred to it or said it, even to be a finalist is such a massive accolade. If you are a finalist, we'll email you a communications pack as well, so you can share that with your on social media or with your comms team to get that information out in whatever channels you want to use. Judging panels on the 23rd and 24th of June, and then our big gala event is on the 17th of September. So there's normally about 600 people in the room. You could probably tell from the picture there that last year we had a space theme, so we like to do something different and exciting. Oh, I've just got a message there from Caroline about no sound on the videos. Sorry about that. Yes, certainly I can share the video afterwards and we'll make sure that the videos with the sound are embedded in there. And I'll give you the links to the slides as well. Sorry about that. I hadn't realised that was an issue. So yes, you're very welcome to join us at our awards event, and it's on the 17th of September, and you're very welcome to attend. It's one of the best, we're biased, but it's one of the best events in the business calendar year. So questions wise, if you want to drop them into the Q&A section and I'll take a little look. And I'm going to leave on screen my contact details and the awards link to the hub as well. So you can, if you've got any other questions you want to follow up with, you're more than welcome to get in touch with me. I'm just going to move over to the Q&A screen now and see if there's any questions. It's taking a second to load. No questions on the Q&A. I'll take a look on the chat unless I'm missing something. Signed, yeah. Okay. Look, if there are no questions, that's great. Hopefully it's been a comprehensive enough webinar for you. Get in touch. Best of luck with your entries. And if there's anything at all that we can do to help, give us a shout. Thank you for your time this afternoon. You've got 7 minutes back.